When I say the new Jarmusch movie, The Dead Don't Die, is the strangest movie I have seen this year, I'm not being hyperbolic, I'm not exaggerating. This is possibly one of the weirdest movies I have seen in quite some time. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is EJ Marino and today we are diving into a brand new review of the film The Dead Don't Die. Making the perfect horror comedy isn't the easiest task. We have seen countless films try to blend these two. For every Tucker and Dale versus Evil, we have like Scary Movie 5. So trying to perfect these two, this mixture of genres, isn't easy. But Jarmusch really nails it with The Dead Don't Die. Everything in this movie is so perfectly blended in its weirdness, in its awkwardness, in its love of horror. As much as this is a hipstery Jarmusch awkward comedy, it's still in love with the horror genre. I mean, even the Landry Jones character is like a horror nut that I felt personally attacked, that I was like, is this character me? Like, did Jarmusch just see my YouTube channel and was like, but let's put EJ in this movie. Like, this movie is in love with the horror genre, but it's still a hilarious, awkward comedy like you would come to expect from a Jarmusch movie.
I got this, Cliff.
Jarmusch really put his stamp on this film with his awkward, weird sense of humor. Like I said, in love with that horror genre. He's done comedy movies like Stranger Than Paradise, this weird deadpan comedy movie. He also had that Johnny Depp movie, Deadpan, in the 90s. But he has done horror movies like Only Lovers Left Alive, a weird vampire movie with Tom Hiddleston and Tilda Swinton. He has this love of genres that he has done multiple times, but he's never really mixed them like he has with The Dead Don't Die. And this is a great mixture of that comedy, of that horror, to a well-directed, a great, almost 2-hour movie. I genuinely had a great time just letting this weirdness flow through me. Like, I don't want to spoil this movie because if you have not seen it, this is a movie that you should just let all of the weird, like, WTF moments really, like, wash over you. But I will say, this is weird. This is not for everyone. That 53 or 52% on Rotten Tomatoes makes a lot of sense. I can see the splitting critics right down the middle, with a lot of them getting it, with a lot of them seeing this movie and being like, this is weird, not everything makes sense, this is odd, but I'm having a good time. But other half of those critics are going to be like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen, because it does have that flair of those like really absurdist kind of comedies, those really weird dark comedies that won't land with everyone, that not every audience is going to enjoy. But I will say, the other critic that was in my screening and the people in my screening really enjoyed it. So that is a good sign of faith that I think you might enjoy it. I think if you like my channel or if you like weird movies like this might be for you.
I'm quite confident of my ability to defend myself against the undead.
I can see that.
If the genre of folk music was like a movie genre, that's what I would say The Dead Don't Die is. This awkward comedy starring Bill Murray and Adam Driver is about two cops who are just dealing with their life in their small town called Centerville. I really like Centerville. I really like the residents. I really enjoyed being in this town. But they're the two kind of cops that are just dealing with this town, and then the zombie apocalypse starts. They have this weird mortician who just moved into town, Tilda Swinton. Chloë Sevigny is also working there as a policewoman. We have Kane as the drunk woman who dies early in the movie. We have Steve Buscemi as a horrible racist. There's a lot of people in this cast that play a good part, that really add to this movie. But did you see that list of people I named off, like Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, Danny Glover, Steve Buscemi, Chloë Sevigny, Landry Jones, Kane, Iggy Pop. This is a star-studded cast, and none of them are wasted. Hell, even Selena Gomez, in the small role that she has, really nails it. Everyone seemed to go onto the set, have a great time. They must have read this Jarmusch script and been like, what are we doing? We're gonna do this, aren't we? And we're gonna have a damn good time doing it. You can truly tell the actors loved being in this movie, loved dealing with all these weird zombies. I mean, the zombie kills are fun. It gets a little gory, it gets a little weird, but you can genuinely tell everyone had a great time. This is the type of movie, as someone who is a creator myself, that I wanna be on, that I wanna build this kind of set, this kind of environment that you could tell people are genuinely having a great time being in your film. So I have a genuinely great time watching your film.
Excuse me. Those are some pretty good cuts. You played some minor league ball, didn't you?
Well, a little classe. It was a long time ago.
Without spoiling this movie, because like I said, I want you to enjoy this as raw, as pure as you can, I really enjoyed that they really set up this weird world that we're in. They really tried to build this and make this world as odd as it is, as awkward as the humor can be. I felt that this was a real world. Even the reason for all the zombie stuff happening is so strange and so out there. But it also works in this movie. They did a really good job of setting up the mood, setting up the tone of this film very early. With some of the self-referencing jokes, with some of the weird humor going on, you really understand this. Like I said, in the first 5 minutes, you could tell if you're going to enjoy this movie or not. And that's that kind of movie that I love, that we can instantly tell the style of the director. This is a pure auteur kind of movie where you could see the vision of the director go in, and that's all we get is his vision, his weirdness, his overall fun vibe. And I like that we can feel how authentic, how true this movie is to its tone, to its style, and that's so good to see. So many movies get lost in what they want to create, and I like that The Dead Don't Die knows what it's going to be, knows the exact type of humor it wants to use, and does it to almost perfection. I cannot get into any more of The Dead Don't Die without spoiling this movie, and this movie is not something you want to be spoiled in. You want to go in as raw as you can. Hell, even if I try to sit here, spoil this movie, tell you all the weird WTF moments of this movie, it still wouldn't work. Like, it still would make no sense me trying to explain it. You almost have to see this movie to believe it, and that's how I'm gonna leave this off. You should see The Dead Don't Die just to believe all of the weirdness. Like, go on Wikipedia, read that synopsis, and you're gonna be like, what? I have to see this movie. So please go see The Dead Don't Die. Let me know what you thought of this review. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because I make videos like this every single week, and make sure you give me a thumbs up as well. Don't want to forget that. YouTube takes those thumbs up very seriously. So thank you so much for anyone who's tuning into my review. Make sure you comment down below, and let's talk about The Dead Don't Die.